Mika is a rushdown oriented grappler. She has moves that propel her forward quickly, as well as a very strong forward and backdash, which helps her implement her game plan decently well. A lot of Mika's game plan revolves around taking risks in order to get in, then covering those risky options with increasingly more risky options to scare opponents from punishing her risks. Mika's quarter circle forward performs her Mika missile. The A version launches her forward, while the B version launches her diagonally up and forward. She can follow up the initial hit with an additional missile by holding a direction and pressing down a button. She can attempt to be tricky with her follow-ups, but the best way to deal with this is by green shielding the first hit. If she goes upwards, she is open for a punish as she can't perform air options post-shield. If she follows up forward or backward, she's open for a punish. Be aware that at the correct spacing, if you green shield, she can react, not follow up, and instead go for a throw. Just be cognizant of your spacing and her options. Mika's EX version allows her to perform 4 missiles in her desired direction. The missiles have a large delay window, so don't get caught mashing to punish without knowing that her input is complete. And the follow-ups can be made plus depending on spacing. So recognize which angle she approaches at, shield responsibly, and punish when appropriate. Mika can also perform her missiles in the air, and they have the same properties as her grounded missiles. Be aware that shielding the air missiles cancels out subsequent follow-ups for air missiles, so TK missiles that are not downward can be easily punished on shield. Mika's DP input performs her lariat. The A version propels her less forward than her B version and is less punishable, as they are -2 and -7 respectively. They also have head and dive invulnerability starting frames 3 and 4 respectively. They have follow-ups that propel Mika up and forward that are much more punishable, but have projectile and head invulnerability. It is ill-advised to jump backwards against Mika, as she can quickly punish attempts by moving forward with B lariat, then catching opponents with a follow-up, so be careful. EX Lariat has invulnerability from frames 1 through 6 and strike invulnerability from frames 7 through 14, so it's a useful reversal option. Thus, characters with 5-frame DPs can punish Lariat attempts freely on shield. But others are forced to weigh the risk-reward of attempting to punish Mika's initial Lariat, or waiting for the follow-up for a bigger punish. Mika also has a jumping version of her Lariat. They do not have invulnerability and are punishable even without shield, but have some use in her combos or changing her jump trajectory. Moreover, they can be cancelled into EX moves on whiff, so be aware of Mika's meter. Mika's quarter circle back performs her command throw. She jumps forward and grabs her opponent. For a command throw, this option is relatively slow and telegraphed. However, it is excellent at punishing bad shields. They have throw invulnerability, so punish with quick normals or specials rather than throws. It does not catch airborne opponents, so you can react with moves that give airborne state. Additionally, it triggers a yellow throw, so be aware and break the throw for frame advantage if all else fails. Mika has a standard grappler command throw with her full circle C. It has 3 frames of startup, so it's good at punishing gaps in moves. Moreover, it has throw immunity over the active duration. Mika's dash normals present a high-low mix-up. Mika falls forward with her dash B. It hits twice, with the second hit being a low. It is -7 but cancelable into specials on block or hit. A way that Mika's make this safe is to cancel into her quarter circle back command throw, as it combos on hit and is made safe, albeit minus if teched. Mika jumps in the air and dropkicks her opponent with her dash C. In UNICLR, it has been adjusted to be safer than it was in ST at -5. Moreover, it pushes her pretty far back, so most characters will likely not be able to punish this on block. Additionally, she can cancel out of it on block or hit. However, if shielded, she can't perform subsequent air specials and is -8, so some characters can punish. And even if they can't, they can use this as an opportunity to pressure Mika by gaining ground, concentrating, or setting up. This mix-up can be dangerous when Mika tries to meter you, as you can't simply fuzzy the high-low. Thus, it becomes important for you to vary your wake-up timings rather than always teching in order to induce whiffs to meter attempts. Mika has a lot of ways of altering her jump trajectory. She can do so with her missiles, her air lariat, jumping AA, jump C and increased jump C, and her force function as well as her increased force function. Moreover, a lot of her moves have a lot of forward momentum, thus she excels at catching out backdash attempts. On top of this, she has the best forward dash in the game at 4 frames of startup, but a relatively bad backdash at 30 frames. And she has very quick normals and good rebeats to be intimidating once she begins her stagger pressure in your face. She excels at staggering her normals, especially her crouching A, and reacting to poor shield attempts that are used to escape the stagger pressure. Also, be aware of the difference between Mika's standing and crouching animation, as there is a subtle difference, but knowing this animation will allow you to react to her block state and punish her at times. Mika excels against characters that can't control her air approaches. Buffs in UNICLR made the matchups that were good for Mika much more polarizing in her favor. However, Mika has some of the same strengths and weaknesses as Line, in that despite the fact that Mika can close distance very well, she has to approach to apply pressure, and her normals are very stubby and prone to being stuffed. Thus, countering Mika revolves around exploiting her wrists and beating her normals to the punch, and characters with good mid-range pressures such as Phonon or Ori patrol her approaches very well. Mika exploits characters in a grappler-centric manner. She punishes timidity and poor defense. However, her stubby range and one-tracked game plan are exploitable weaknesses that can't be ignored. If you have any additional information, feel free to provide feedback in the comments.